Yes, it is the red pill news. Although we don't have too much to sing about tonight, do we? It's a dark day. It's a sad day. You have a war going on with basically innocent people who didn't do anything to anyone, and you got Vladimir Putin who is pushing, 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 completely leveling civilian towns, killing people, animals, everything under the sun. They just attacked the biggest nuclear power plant that Ukraine has. He doesn't care what happens. He wants to kill all of them, and no one's stopping him. We're giving these guys a couple of javelins and some Stinger missiles. Let me tell you, they need a lot more than that. They need they need like 1,000 drones just to go in there. But this dude says he's gonna nuke anyone who gets in the way. He's gonna nuke, nuke, nuke. He's not gonna nuke territory he wants. Although blowing up nuclear power plant, I mean, really, the United States of America has no leadership. You had, Joe Biden, and he's yeah, you know, he's just that. He's nothing. It's like, I'll quote Trump, even though I'm not a Trumper. He said that Biden was on the trash heap until Obama took him off. Obama made him vice president, and typically presidents make people vice presidents who are way worse than themselves. So they don't assassinate them and get something worse. That's like the typical. If you go back through all the vice presidents in history, that's pretty much what you got. But I'll tell you this: there's no going back. We're in a new era where it's a new phase. There's no forgiving. There's no nothing. You're watching the media, blood sucking leeches, leech off of all these people's misery in Ukraine, going live and showing all this and the attacks and the suffering and all that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's good to understand what's going on. They're bombarding people with it, and that's changed the morale and the psyche of people in many, many, many countries. Right? It's getting worse. It's not getting better. None of these people are going to make it better. And the only thing I can suggest is that you hold on for the ride. I mean, I think we talked about this a while ago. In fact, we talk about this all the time. We talk about how this year was going to be very challenging and things were going to happen. I mean, I'm not some super psychic, but I do have a head for the way things go, just because I can see what's happening. And you follow the trends and you understand what's happening. And then, yeah, sure, you get the feeling for stuff. But I'll tell you, it's not over yet, and it's kind of just begun in my gut, and there's going to be a lot more to it. And I think Putin's nuts enough to nuke New York or D.C. or France or London. I think he's crazy enough to do that. I feel like there's nuclear submarines parked off of United States right now. You know that there is, because that's the guy's nuts, man. Will those people carry those orders out? I don't know. If it's electronic and it's all automated, then who knows? But Putin has lost it. He's paranoid. He's flipped out. I mean, he's driven. He's a madman. He's a madman, and it's only going to get worse. And I fear for my friends all over, and everyone, because this is how fast things can happen. A couple of weeks ago, we weren't talking about World War III. A couple of weeks ago, we were talking about pandemic and where that's going to go. And don't you think that, COVID is not over yet, and other strains are going to come along, maybe even more deadly. So when I say that you're going to have natural things and man-made things and all these disasters coincide, because everything always happens at once, we're there. We're on that tipping point. And, to stand by and watch human destruction is equal to being human garbage. To stand by and watch it and to say, well, if you get involved, it's World War III. Listen, man, there's only one way to handle a bully. You got to go right for his balls or hers, whatever they got. Because if you let him win and you let him take the Ukraine, he's gonna goose step into all the other territories out there. He's gonna take them all. He's going to do the same thing he's doing now. But what we've seen from this last week and a half is that the Russian military is not very good at what they do. They're very inexperienced. They don't have a lot of combat experience. It's exactly what I've been saying all along about these people. And then now we're seeing it, and supply chains being cut off, and Ukrainians fighting hard. See, now I didn't suspect all of the people in Ukraine to turn out the way they did. I had figured that they were going to have to meet it out. To me, there's a strategy in survival. Do you let an enemy come in and completely level your country and kill everybody, and then they're going to take it anyway? Or do you negotiate a way out of it and then have other countries behind you to to settle that? Like I'll tell you, man, to see all those people, they're so passionate, and God love them. You know, if there is such a thing anymore, I don't even know about that. I mean, I'm questioning everything in this universe. I think you have to discriminate against everything in this universe, because I open my eyes and I see what's going on. And look at the pain, look at the suffering, look at all this hell around the world, and you're just trying to survive. You're just trying to survive. Whatever your life is, doesn't matter what the hell you are. You could be a student, you could be a custodian, you could be a doctor, you could be an airline pilot. We're all different, but we're all the same. We all just have to survive every day. You make your money, you pay your bills, you buy stuff that you need, you live your life. But then all of a sudden, some asshole drops a bomb on you, and blows up your apartment building. Oh, because of what's going on in 1917. Let me tell you, man, if he's stuck back in time, then France is going to get it in the neck, because that's where socialism began. That's where the spread of it, communism, socialism, whatever you want to call it these days, it's just controlism is what it is. It's not even a concept. It's power and control, human over human. It's the iron fist. You don't listen to me, I'm going to do this to you. This dude's dropping fuel air bombs, FAE bombs, you know, whatever their version of it, what they call, we say the mother of all bombs, the fuel air bomb. What it does, it kind of comes down on a parachute usually, and it's about, what is it, 28,000 pounds or tons of this chemical slurry of fuel and whatever. It releases it first, poof. It covers the entire area, some theater-wide area. The people there, whatever's there, inhales the fuel, and then it goes off and it vaporizes pretty much everything. Woof. It's the second ordinance behind a nuclear bomb. So Putin has already, right there at the beginning of the game, threatened nukes against us and everybody else if we intervene. But so what do? You just sit there. The CIA's got their hands in it. They're probably trying to move a lot of stuff. It's hard to move things into a war zone. We acted too late. The second that bastard was amassing on the border, we should have been supplying Ukraine with all kinds of weapons to fight them. No. What Joe Biden do? Tell a story and laugh like an idiot. Yeah, that's your president. I'll take that Kamala Harris, but she's feisty, man. She wouldn't sit there like an idiot. She's sitting there looking at him like he's an idiot. His speech the other night, I didn't even think he was going to get through it. I thought he was going to keel over. He's an old man, 79, up late, talking for an hour and a half. I could do that stuff, but I'm driven and younger. He's just an old creep. And then here we are. But look at the weak leadership around the world. I mean, who do you have that's got the gusto? And yeah, I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it, and you're going to hear it. If Trump was in office, this crap would have never have happened. Never have happened. They would have met the objective at that time. Oh, Putin massing soldiers on the border? Let's just give Ukraine lots of packages of weapons, What happened to Hunter Biden, man? He's a big Ukrainian oil guy. Can he go there and settle the score? Paint Putin some pictures? make a deal? Well, the Bidens are marinated in oil, aren't they? And then look at oh yeah, we don't want to cut off. We're buying we're buying oil from the country who's destroying the other country. That's how messed up we are. We are oil people. We need it. We love it. We want it. I got a Hemi, man. You think that thing runs on batteries? No. It ain't some Prius. I think that my 16.9 miles per gallon on the highway doesn't hurt when these prices go high. And I want Putin's head on a stick when I pay $68 to fill my tank, $80. I remember when Obama was in there, though, and there wasn't a Putin, there wasn't a war, there wasn't anything like that. It was just Obama's policies against oil drove the price up. Oh my God, I was paying five something a gallon on Long Island. Yep. So, but whatever. They all want to blame each other. They don't want to take credit for anything that good anybody does. If someone does something bad, they point the finger. If they don't, they take the credit. You know. I feel it in my gut, man. I really do. And it's so heavy. And you just have to kind of shut yourself down. A lot of people are glued to the coverage because they want to see it. It's a thing. You don't get to see the stuff every day. It's the horrible car accident on the side of the road. It's not like you don't have sympathy for those people, but at the same time, it's entropy. I'm a huge entropy fan. You know what? Tornadoes lay waste to a neighborhood. Oh my God, that's terrible. But wow, look at that, right? Is that terrible to say? A lot of people, you're like that. I know you're like that. You know what? Everyone's got a level of that in their world, but it's not that you don't have sympathy and have love for the ones who have suffered or would act. It's the impact and the observance of it, right? If you go to one of those tractor pulls, right, one of those giant monster trucks goes out of control into the audience and kills 17 people, you're like, oh my God, you're laughing hysterically, but at the same time, that it was a terrible, tragic event. And you're saying, oh my God, look at those poor freaking hillbillies. They're getting crushed by that death truck, monster truck. I kind of feel like if you go sit inside an arena with a bunch of big, giant monster trucks running to the first place, I don't know, you kind of get what you deserve. At that rate, with all that fumes and whatever, I don't even get the car racing. Go fast, turn left. Go fast, turn left. It's all these like hillbillies, man. And how do they even get there? This is hillbillies. Wonder bread. Guy wants to say Wonder bread. They're all just advertisements. And then what is it really? It's expensive machine against expensive machine. Sooner or later, AI can figure it out and do a better job. Although I don't know about these Tesla cars running over people, man. That's not cool. So I think that you need to be ready. And I have friends on Long Island. I got friends in DC, LA too, man. Let me tell you. And here's the big one question of the day. If Putin nukes some neutral nominal country, right? Like Texas. So I mean neutral. A neutral country that's not part of NATO, not some country, yeah, but something that he could make that statement. I don't think he would do it. But I think he would nuke France. I don't know. I think that this guy's working on the message. Just like I said, they weren't going to attack until the Olympics over. And just today, it was that Xi Jinping himself asked Putin not to attack until the Olympics is over. And so there you go. There's your butt buddies. These guys are in cahoots, man. I mean, he had Putin hold off an attack for the Olympics, right? So China could cheat and get gold medals, man. And those medals are full of chocolate, and it's not even good chocolate either. So the joke's on them. So don't you think that China's got its eyes on Taiwan? And right now they're doing the same thing. There are dozens of illegal flights now from their military into Taiwan. Taiwan's complaining about it. Nobody's listening to it. And, some of our Navy ships went down into what they call the South China Sea. And then China said that's a provocation. You're provoking us. So we have all of this going on at the same time. If Putin hit New York City, do you think we'd respond? Do you think that we would launch against him? Launch against Russia? And then what happens after that? And I can't even believe we're talking like this at this time, or maybe I can because there's been that countdown, that clock. There's been that energy, and it just seems like one thing was going to pour right into the other, and that these evil people were going to take advantage of the weakness of countries right now who have a weak economy because of COVID-19. You know, it's kind of the one-two punch, maybe even intended, right? I tend to think that there's not too much coincidence in the world. So you find yourself in a place wondering what the hell Kanye West is doing, man. What is Kanye doing, man? I want some Kanye. I don't want to think about this war crap anymore. I want some Kanye, man. So let's do a funny story. All right, there aren't any. What is going on with this freaking world? I'm gonna have to go back. You know what? This kind of got me. Ben Stiller and Tom Hanks' kids both said, well, Tom Hanks' son Chet said he didn't have a strong male role model. Ooh, attacking Tom Hanks right in the family jewels, man. And then Ben Stiller's daughter says he wasn't around during childhood. But I grew up in a mansion that had everything I wanted. They could trade that off for some 9 to 5 angry guy coming home to some loud fat kid. Just kidding. Just kidding. But they're out there, right? Ben Stiller, I think you could do a lot worse as a dad than Ben Stiller. I did. So here we go. But Tom Hanks' son, Chet. I don't like the name Chet. And this dude, look at this dude. He shaved his head bald. That's the look, I guess. When there's many bald guys together, it just makes me feel like asses are up in the air, like like a whole bunch of asses. My mind starts warping. And this guy's tattooed everywhere, like his neck, not on his face, thank God. Not yet anyway. Do you think Tom Hanks' son's got some issues? So Tom Hanks is out there talking all kinds of crap. Didn't Obama give him the medal of whatever? So he's such a great person, and he's an actor, such a great actor, he deserves a medal, right? How about some dude who rushes into an apartment building and saves 15 kids and then whatever? Did he deserve a medal too? Or just Tom Hanks because he was Forrest Gump, right? So Tom Hanks' son, Chet Hanks. Usually when guys get all tattooed up like that, and the guys are going to hate what I'm about to say. If you have tattoos, you may as well turn your shit off right now because give me like 20 seconds. I'll give you like 3. 1, 2, 3. Guys usually get tattoos because they want to look tougher than they actually are. You know what I mean? I, for one, don't have any tattoos. I don't need them. I don't need to compensate. It's not like I need to compensate. And I know guys will like, oh, I like my art on the wall. If you want to get tattooed, that's fine. I'm just telling you, a lot of young guys that I knew when I was young all got tattooed because they wanted to be tougher. And it worked. You know what? People took an interest in, look, hey, this guy's got a panther on his arm and all that kind of stuff. To me, it makes you identifiable in my world as a PI. It makes you, yeah, he had a panther on his arm. Can't miss it. Tom Hanks' son, Chet Hanks, claimed Tuesday that despite growing up with an Oscar winning dad, he had no one to turn to as a celebrity kid. I didn't have a strong male role model to tell me, bro, F these people. They're just jealous of you. Chet, who's 31 years old. I think at 31, dude, I think it's time you move on. You get along with it. Go hang out with Ben Stiller's daughter and make some famous babies. Something. Do something. That's not complaining. Just stop getting all those tattoos. Just 31, dude, and you're crying. And no father talks to his kid, bro, F these people. They're just jealous of you. Jealous of what? All right. So he said in a video on his YouTube channel of the disrespect he endured from his peers for his wealth, fame, and being perceived as arrogant, entitled, and spoiled. Well, you are. Look at what you're saying now. You sound pretty arrogant, entitled, and spoiled. I think that you fit the bill. Put that, tattoo that on your face. I'm arrogant, entitled, and spoiled. You have you have all these things that they want. So they're trying to effing throw the shade at you so you can feel crappy. He said S city, Jitty, about yourself because they're jealous. I needed to hear that. He continued. I didn't have anyone to tell me that. He should have got a parrot and taught him that. They're pretty good at talking, man, or a raven or tell me how great I am. Mirror, mirror on the wall. You're the fairest of them all, Chet. Ah! Run, run, Forrest. I run all the way home. Ah, the white boy summer rapper. Oh, God, he's a rapper? Oh, my God. I didn't even know that. Who was that other idiot that became a rapper, that dude? And then he became the Joker. He became a rapper, went on Letterman, and Letterman made fun of him, and it became, I don't know, what else? That dude, the white boy summer rapper, I don't know what I'm saying, said people used to make up their minds about him before you even get to know him. Yeah, do you think it's your you? Chet, who regularly posts photos of himself flexing his muscles on Instagram, added that due to his hard exterior and ability to intimidate many of his haters, never had the nerve to confront him face to face. Look at him stand there in his underwear. He's got like, oh, I wish I could show you guys this picture. He's got like some Keds on with his, I don't know, he looks really short. He's very, very small. I'm 6'5", and I kind of know how, if I had to walk through a doorway, how much headroom I have. But he's got, let's see, so he's got his tattoos. It looks like he works out. What the hell is he going to do? He's Tom Hanks' son. He didn't have to work or anything. He's got his Nike kind of knee-length shorts on. It's the same shorts that like old men wear when they go to like the market on some days. And he's got like black socks on with these shoes. But he's like this, I'm tough. I'm tough. I know a bunch of people that would throw him right off that rooftop without even thinking. He could think about that on the way down. Okay. There's always bigger and badder in this world. I was warned a long time ago by somebody, and that was my grandmother, who was bigger and badder. Old Italian grandmas, you got to cut them some slack, man. And they'll grab a switch off the tree. They grabbed a switch off the tree, the size appropriate for the need for the beating, man. And you can never get away from them. My friend Roberto, his grandmother came after him, and she was like really old. I think she's probably 90 something, man. Hip, 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 hip. He's laughing. And if you laugh too, you get the switch. You just stand there all unsuspecting. He run away, not worry about it. Should get him 3 days later while he's sleeping. That's what you don't do. You don't piss off old Italian grandmothers, aged, whatever they call them now, man. Elderly grandmas, no matter what they are. I'm not really, no matter what they are. Because the elderly, they're grandmas, so they're there. Anyway, this guy is just full of poop. This one, yeah. Okay. There's a lot of advantages, but sometimes it can be pretty weird. I got to do a lot of cool shit that a lot of people don't get the opportunity to do, he acknowledged. I got to travel the world, stay in nice hotels, fly on private planes, and I'm very blessed for that. I wouldn't change my situation. My experience was even more complicated because, on top of fame already being toxic, I wasn't even famous. He added, I was just the son of somebody famous. You son of somebody famous. You son of Hanks. I am son of Hanks. He should tattoo that to his head. I am son of Hanks. That's why he's a white boy rapper, right? What is that? I don't know what That's, what is that? The white boy rap. What does he rap about? His raps about Tom Hanks. That's the problem with these guys. They have no identity because they've been Fruit Loops all this time. He should have kind of gone his own way. You know what I mean? Go to Australia, do a walkabout, something like that. Hang out with the Aborigines, learn something, sacrifice something, volunteer your time to help somebody instead of sit there crying how life sucks because his father's Tom Hanks. You should have my father. You want to know what life is like, dude? Mister Muscle Baldy tattoo guy, 31 years old, complaining about stuff. I'm 55 and I'm still complaining about stuff, and I ain't what you had. Oh my god. Quite the opposite. I was just a son. Oh, so that he raps. I was just a son of somebody famous, so I hadn't even done anything to deserve any sort of recognition, and that created a lot of contempt. Word. That's him. That's it. You, if you do that song, dude, you're gonna owe me, man. Let's say Tom Hanks, 65 years old. He seems older for some reason. Shares sons Chet and Truman, 26, with his wife Rita Wilson. He is also dad to son Colin, 44, and daughter Elizabeth, 39, with his first wife, the late Samantha Lewis. And that's the end of the story. See that? It was like no, nothing. Just that guy bitching. You should send him a thing. Go on his go on his Instagram, whatever. Challenge him. Just be yourself, man. You know what? It's about your identity. How do you identify yourself? How do you know what? People identify themselves in wealth sometimes, much of the time anyway, in whatever. But let me tell you this: all of life is sex because we're sexual creatures. At some point, you really don't give a crap about it anymore. Might like to think about it a little bit, but you don't really give a crap. It doesn't control your life like if you're a young male. You know what I mean? Young men, sex controls their lives. They only, and then they make ads, they make TV shows, they make all these movies geared towards it, right? What's those Fast and Furious movies? Fast cars, fast girls, lots of ass, fast everything, fast money. That's what guys like. You know what life is really like? Crap job, crap relationship, angry kids. Unless you play the game of life and you go to college, you get an education, you need your degrees, you need to go out there and do stuff, and then don't tell people the stories. Well, this guy got to be a billionaire and he didn't have any degrees. Yeah. That ain't you. You are somebody who's different. You are is not someone who's gonna, okay, oh, maybe I'll win the lottery or sue somebody. In this world, you're lucky if your ass ain't on fire from Putin's nuclear warfare. You know what I mean? You're lucky that. Or even if you're more lucky, you're Ben Stiller's daughter. Now, Tom Hanks, I can't see as a guy I'd ever want to hang out with. You know what I mean? I just feel like he annoys me. He annoys me like, no, not as bad as Robin Williams used to annoy me, man. He really annoyed me. This guy, I divide people into two categories. Ones I'd hang out with, ones I wouldn't hang out with. I can't help it. It's just how I function, how I operate. I understand people, and if they're cool, I can chill, sit outside under the stars by a fire, chilling out. Having a little bit of bourbon, man. Maybe a cigar. Chilling with your friends, no matter who they are. I love that. Going for a cruise, traveling, all kinds of stuff, man. Although traveling, I don't know about that. I think I'm hard to travel with because I talk nonstop, and that would make people kind of jump out of the car going 80 miles an hour, and that's not a good thing either. So, but Ben Stiller is somebody I think I can hang out with. He seems cool and lucky. I'm not a fan of his really. He's cool in some movies and whatever. You know what? I'm going to say it like this: these guys are the same in all of their movies. Jim Carrey, the same in all of his movies. Ben Stiller, the same. They're the same people. They're not like great actors. Johnny Depp is a great actor. He's a douchebag, but he's a great actor. He can truly play any role. Adam Sandler is not a great actor. In fact, I think we should have a moratorium on Adam Sandler movies and productions, like 20 years. Just kind of clean it out. Get rid of all that crap that's out there. Because I every time you turn around, it's like his face, and it's like, oh. And he was more than a B actor, but then all the other A actors disappeared, and he moved up through the ranks. I don't know how it happened. I don't pay that close attention to it. I just know that he's there. You know what I mean? And I wouldn't hang out with Adam Sandler either. He seems like a major douche. But Ben Stiller, I could hang out with. We could chill out, man. We could have a laugh. I bet we would laugh hard. I like to laugh with people. I like to be funny with people, and I love to be funny with funny people. That nothing better than that, man. Nothing better than busting your gut laughing. Nothing better. No, maybe sex. Depends on your age. like I said. I know some older guys. I know guys in their 70s looking for women though. But I know some older dudes who quit. I haven't quit. I'm just brain dead. I'm just brain dead from the whole experience. What's your brain? I'm a zombie, brain dead. You know what I mean? All right. The actor was called out by his daughter Ella, who felt that her famous pops wasn't around during her childhood. Do you think it's just these reporters have nothing to do, and they contact their kids? How was your childhood and whatever? Like just let them vent. You know what I mean? What kid's not going to vent about their parents unless they're 31? Then that's loser stage. once you hit a certain mark, that L, you should tattoo the big L on his head. Call him the loser boy rapper or something. Hey, you gotta pay me for that too if you use it, man. All right. The Zoolander star got candid with Esquire about bringing up the 19-year-old while building his career. She's now 19. Stiller admitted that she called him out for not being as present as he could have been as a dad during her younger years. You know what? That's the thing. If you're famous, let's say you're super famous, Will Smith. Who'd have thunk it? I like Will Smith. Ben Stiller. I know we're limited in our choices in this world, and I resent that too. But if you take the time, like the formative years, you want to be there for your kids. You know what I mean? And miss the poopy diaper stage, you can miss completely. But the rest of the stuff, the terrible twos, maybe too, you're gonna get out of that, man. But the rest of the stuff, you want to be there. And it doesn't last that long. The kids grow up fast, super fast. And if you're there for that productive time, and then stick them into some kind of school the rest of the time, and then still have nice vacations or spend time, you gotta take a break for your kids. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? So he said she's pretty articulate about it, and sometimes it's stuff that I don't want to hear. It's hard to hear because it's not me being there in the way that I saw my parents not being there, and I had always thought, well, I won't do that. Yes, but you did. But you did, didn't you? The Emmy Award-winning actor, 56. See, he's like a year older than me. We could hang out, Ben. Give me a call, man. Send me an email. Do something like that. Hit me up on Facebook. The actor 56 is the son of famed comedic duo Ann Mara and Jerry Stiller. The King of Queens actor died in May 2020 at the age of 92 years old. Mira passed away in 2015 at 85. Very, very ripe old ages, man. They had a full life of yucks. You got to give it to the comedians, man. They make people happy, make people laugh. You make people laugh about stuff. People tell me that, when I say these funny things or whatever, and they laugh at it, that they think about it later on. And then they add it into their lives when other stuff is going on, and they have a laugh over it. If you could think back at what someone says and have a real laugh over it, especially when you're sitting around a bunch of people and they watch you laughing and they have no idea why, that's even better. The Meet the Parents leading man continued, but then it's that that thing like I was trying to navigate my own desire to fulfill the hopes and dreams I had too, and that doesn't feel great, but it's important to acknowledge. Well, when you have sex and you have children, all your dreams and hopes kind of get a little on the sideline because it's not just about you. When you bring a kid into the world, you have a moral obligation to raise that child and do everything you can for them, everything you can. So but a lot of people turn their backs on their kids, or they don't want, or they get angry. They're angry that the husband left and whatever, or they made the husband leave and they're angry because of that. And I don't know, all kinds of crapola gets in the way. Okay, Stiller shares Ella as well as son Quinlan, 16, with his wife, actress Christine Taylor. Who's Christine Taylor? What does she look like? I don't know any of this stuff, man. Like, I don't even watch one because I see his movies. I turn the channel. I'm not into that. I'm not into it. I just into talking about their lives. What does she look like? Hey, she's cute. They're a cute couple. She looks taller than him, man. A little taller. She's cute. She looks like she likes to laugh. That's cool. I mentioned about that guy, that dwarf who's so angry. But I'm not talking about that right now. I saw he has got this movie coming out where he's like a sword fighter, and I was really pushed back for a lot of different reasons, and you know you've gotten to a world of, how you want to say, you know bull crap. You know what I mean? Where people aren't real, and they want to live the lives of this fake type of thing. All right. So anyway, so Peter Dinklage, came out and for the dwarfs, and he went nuts, and he says Snow White is this, that, and then the dwarfs were horrible, and he kind of put down the dwarfs in the dwarf movie, even though they were helping her out and whatever, and the story has its honest heart and intent. But this guy, I mean, he's taken it upon himself to do this. Let me talk about this in a minute because I have to comment on that, on what I saw, because I just can't keep my mouth shut about it. So, all right, let's see. We'll go back to Ben Stiller. What I've learned is that your kids are not keeping score on your career. It would be it'd be crazy to think that my kids actually care about that. Yeah, of course your kids care about the career. They want the lights to stay on. They want food in the refrigerator. They want that private plane. You don't think they want the private plane? I'd take a private plane. Maybe. Maybe. I think that they're kind of gluttonous. But whatever. They just want to be a parent who's they want a parent who's emotionally present and supportive for them. That's probably what they want more. So at least she's not 31 crying about it. So this guy's like overthinking. Don't let anybody ever paint you into a corner where you're overthinking. Narcissism is a trait of being a psychopath, right? I'm not saying this girl is a psychopath. I'm just kind of thinking about it because when you are dealing with somebody else and you're living your life, and I'm not talking about your kids, I'm not talking about anything, I'm saying just you, and somebody reaches out to criticize you or direct things at you that are unwarranted, and they kind of make you start defending yourself, that's where it's all over and done with. I'm just saying that to you. So this guy's overthinking because his daughter put him in a box, man. That's probably what they want more. They want more from me than going off and pushing the bounds of my creativity. So he thinks that what he does is creativity. That's even funnier because I thought they just had to make those crap movies to satisfy the 10-year-olds out there. And with his museum, Night at the Museum, I saw part of that. It's just I can't watch that stuff. It's not made for me. I'm not the kind of person that's going to watch that. Even though I've watched Harry Potter, love Harry Potter. I watch all the time. I do all Harry Potter marathons sometimes on board. You know. But that night at the museum, all I did is just really, I don't do the toys coming alive, any of that stuff. I like the real stuff, like witches. All right, let's see. So his wife, Taylor, who's 50, looking good for 50, and Stiller just got back together this month following their 2017 split. So don't you think that 5 year split, she was filling the girl's head with all kinds of crap gunk? She's 19. So from 14, you don't think at 14 years old, the mom is, you bastard, a loser, you never ran, you didn't care, you know, one making a movie night at a museum, you loser. Loser, loser, loser. Yeah, you loser. When she's on the top end iPhone and she's got an airplane outside. Loser. I'm flying off to Paris to buy some shoes. Loser. Think you're funny? We were separated and got back together, and we're happy about that, he said. He notice the we stuff. He doesn't say I. We were separated and got back together, and I'm very happy about that. Nope. We. You have been assimilated. The Borg just got to him, man. You, Ben Stiller, you are assimilated. Then, of course, over time, it evolved. The frat pack member, what the hell is that? All right, whatever. Stiller and as Severance Adam Scott, Severance star, recently spoke to the Post. Blah, 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 I don't even care about that. So now they're gonna just hawk. Now he's hawking his movie. Says five things, 5 sentences about his daughter, and he's talking about his movie and his work. So you Ben Stiller, everybody. Okay. So Peter Dinklage. So Peter Dinklage went nuts, and of course, then another a dwarf came forward who was really angry, short-tempered, I think, over his whole thing, and he's a wrestler and whatever, saying, "Who are you, the king of the dwarfs?" You know, like, how dare you say things to Disney about not hiring dwarfs to make movies? And what do? Make movies? Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, and hire the Globetrotters? Is that really what it is? Snow White and the Seven Globetrotters. I've seen that movie, and you can't air it. I've seen stuff like that. I'll be telling you, man, that's disgusting, Peter Dinklage. Disgusting. So then I'm seeing this dude. You know, he's an actor, and that's cool. I think he was in. I mean, he was in a lot of stuff. He's very famous, right? I mean, he was, whatever, Game of Thrones. He's been in Game of Thrones. I've seen him where he's got the F word cranking. He curses a lot, like Samuel Jackson. They think they should hang out. Do you see Peter Dinklage and Samuel Jackson? That's a movie by itself. Just them hanging out for an hour and a half. Just like put a couple cameras on them. People eat that up alive. Mother effer, you know. All right. I love someone who can craft a good F word, man. So then I'm seeing like footage of this movie where he's like a warrior, right? And he's got this big ass sword, bigger than him. He's whipping it around and he's hitting people with, right? That guy would be dead in 3 seconds. He's 4 feet tall. You don't survive no 4 feet tall unless no one sees you. You know, you bobbleheading along, and everybody else is like, let me tell you, man, I'm not going to brag, but I use swords in my workout. You know, I got 2 katanas, and I use them both at the same time. And if you have long arms and lanky body, you can whip those things around. And I have a good broadsword and things like that, plus heavier two-handed swords. This dude wouldn't be able to pick that thing up barely, and it's just not real. But they want you to believe it's real. You see commercials with these women, and then they're all super strong, super strength. They can do all this stuff, and they're amazing people. Yeah, that's not real. How about everybody in the commercial is either rich or very well off? That's not real. You know what I mean? So the reality is, people shouldn't paint things the way in some fictitious manner. You know, no, sure, if he's a wizard, that's fine. Do you think that there's no dwarf wizards? Of course there are. I don't even know a couple. I don't know a couple. I know a tough midget. He's pretty tough. Or dwarf. I'm sorry. I don't know. There's a difference between that. I'm not PC enough for that. I admit that, and I don't want to be either. I just see people as people, man. I remember back on Long Island, there was a bowling alley in Mineola where they did midget tossing and midget bowling. Like these guys would put these things on, and slide down the bowling alley right into the pins. Man, I think that was probably the height of exploitation for dwarfs, right? And if Peter Dinklage wants to, he can stomp out midget bowling and tossing if it still exists. I bet you it does. I bet you it does. I bet you I'll look right now. Do Google. Let me see, man. Midget tossing. Midget tossing. Canada. There you go. There you go. Hey, here we go. Dwarf tossing in Canada. Dwarf tossing, also called midget tossing, is a pub bar attraction in which people with dwarfism wearing special padded clothing, you want to keep them safe when you throw them across the bar, or Velcro costumes are thrown onto mattresses or at Velcro coated walls. Participants compete through throwing the person with the dwarfism to the furthest. See, and this is going on today in Canada. Here's the video of it. So I think they outlawed it on Long Island. You know, maybe they did. I don't know. I don't know that either. All I know is that I'm not going to feel threatened by somebody's 4 feet tall with a sword or not. You know what I mean? It just doesn't. Like if you want to be a superhero, you can be, but I don't know. There's a way of doing it, right way, wrong way. But this dude's against the exploitation of dwarfism. But yet then he'll make a movie like that and come out that way, and that's exploitive too, because it's taking someone to a level that they're not going to be at. And I think you have to just be comfortable in your own skin and happy unto yourself, especially in this kind of crazy world. But I could hang out with Peter Dinklage too. I would make him laugh, man. This dude, he'd laugh his little ass off. You know what? He gets some crow's feet finally in his eyes. Look at him sitting there with that big what is that award, Golden Globe, whatever he won. Good for you, man. Good for you. But support the community, man. Don't knock the community. You know what I'm saying? Fight exploitation, but Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs is not exploitation. Midget tossing, yeah, it is exploitation. Instead of tossing midgets, they should toss big, huge, fat people and build up their muscles. That's terrible. Anyway, I'll see you guys next week on this here show if we're all still alive. Who knows where the hell I'll be at that point, man? Running, hiding on the road. For and then the smoldering aftermath and the radiation or whatever. I don't know. I don't know. I'll see you guys next week on the Red Pill News. Don't despair. Everything's going to be okay. See, I could lie too. Seriously, just protect your families. Be there. Yeah, sure. Have a bug out bag. You know what I mean? If you want to get out of town, get out of town. I'm not saying that a lot of people who are in the know are leaving D.C. and New York and telling their families to go, but they are. I don't want to scare anybody, but it's not fear. It's being informed. If information is king, if you're informed, you can make a decision. If you think that for a second that someone's going to nuke the city, that Biden would go and blab it, he wouldn't. He wouldn't. There's no way to evacuate the city. You see how long it takes to evacuate Florida, which is like America's penis, basically, and it's just big up and down, big up and down. You know what I mean? Roads up and down. They can ride alligators out of there. New York City, you ain't gonna do it. Long Island, no, forget it, man. You know what I mean? So I think I've said enough. I'll see you guys next week, man. But you know what? Just be there for your families. Love who you with, what you got. Be there for your kids. Tom Hanks, look at your 31-year-old son flipping out. Be there for them. I'll see you guys later. Good night.